Hi, this is Drew with JDCDL, and I'm now going to show you the trailer on the pre-trip inspection. First thing we're going to check is our front and our side boards. There should be no cracks, damages, holes, and all of our bolts and rivets should be tight and not missing. We should have an amber light present, and it should be not cracked or damaged, and it should be secured. We should have DOT tape present all the way down the side of our trailer. And the front of our trailer should look like it's going to hold a full load. Next, we're going to come to our landing gear. With our landing gear, this landing gear is secured to our trailer. There should be no cracks, damages, bends, or illegal welds to the landing gear on both sides. Then we're going to check our cross supports of our landing gear. It should be secured on both sides with no damages, and it should have no bends and no illegal welds. We're going to check our landing gear feet. Both sides should be secured in the up position with no damages, no bends, and no illegal welds. Then we're going to check our handle. Our handle should be in the stowed or maybe the locked position. It should have no damages, no bends, and no illegal welds. There should be no missing parts to any of the landing gear. Then we're going to come underneath our trailer. Underneath, we're first going to check our floor. Our floor should have no cracks, damages, or holes. Then we're going to check all of our cross supports. All of our cross supports should be properly secured on both sides with no cracks or damages, no bends, and no illegal welds. Then we're going to check our rear frame. Our rear frame should be properly secured to the trailer on both sides with no cracks or damages, no bends, and no illegal welds. Underneath our trailer should look like it's going to hold our full load. Then we're going to come to our back axle. We're going to start with our suspension. First thing we're going to check is our springs. Our spring leaf should be properly secured on both sides, no cracks or damages, no bends, and no illegal welds, and there should be none missing and none have shifted. We have U-bolts. Our U-bolts should be properly secured on both sides with no cracks or damages, and on the bottom down here, these nuts should be tight on our U-bolts. We're then going to check our spring brackets. Spring brackets on both sides should be properly secured, no cracks, no damages, they should not be bent or legally welded, and all of our bolts and nuts should be tight and not missing. Then we're going to check our torsion bar. Our torsion bar should be properly secured on both ends with no cracks or damages, it should not be bent, and we should have all bolts and nuts present, tight, and none missing. Now we're going to come down to our brakes. We're going to check our brake hoses first. Our brake hose on both sides should be tight with the fittings, and there should be no damages and no leaking to our brake hose. Then we're going to check our brake chamber. Our brake chamber should be secured, tight, no damages, no leaking, and then we have a clamp. We should have a clamp back here, and it should be tight. Then we're going to come back around to the back to check our slack adjuster and our push rod. Our slack adjuster and our push rod should be properly secured, not cracked or damaged. It should have no missing parts, and this should not move more than 1 inch. It should have no more than 1 inch play when we release the brakes. Then we're going to come inside and check our brake pads and our brake drums. They should be properly secured, no crack, no damages. They should not be worn, and they should have no liquids on them. Now we're going to come around and start with our tires. First thing we're going to check in our tires is the space between our tire. We should have proper spacing and no trash or debris stuck in the middle. Our tires should be evenly worn. We should have more than 30 seconds of tread depth in our back. And our tire wall should have no rips, tears, cuts, or bubbles, as well as the top of our tire. No rips, tears, cuts, or bubbles. Then we're going to come down and check our valve stem. Our valve stem should be properly secured with no damages. It should not be leaking. And we'll go ahead and tell the examiner we would check the pressure with an air gauge. Now we're going to check our rims. Our rims should be secured, no damages, no bends, no illegal welds. All of our lug nuts should be tight and not missing. Between our lug nut and our rim, we should have no rust. And our hub seal. Our hub seal should be properly secured with no damages. It should not be leaking, And if a hub seal has a sight glass, then we would go ahead and check to make sure that the level is at the proper level. Our mud flaps. This mud flap should be properly secured to our trailer with no cracks, damages, rips, tears, or holes to our mud flap. Then we're gonna come around the back. First thing we're gonna check is gonna be our door. We're gonna make sure we have no cracks, damages, or holes to our door. We're gonna also check our door cables. We have door cables, one on each side, one here and one here. We're gonna make sure that they're properly secured on both sides. There's no cracks or damages, no frayed wires. And we wanna make sure that all parts are present and not missing. We're gonna check our handle. We would need to make sure that our handle unlocks and our door opens. And then we would make sure that our door closes and that our handle locks properly. Then we're gonna have check and make sure we have DOT tape present on the back of our truck, of our trailer. And then we wanna make sure that all lights in the back are properly working. There's no damages, and they're all red color. And the back of our trailer should look like it's gonna hold our full load. Then we're gonna come around to the side. On the side of this truck, there's no doors, but on the test truck, there will be 2 doors. You're gonna talk about them just like you would do the outside door. So we would say I would check my 2 doors, make sure there's no